Hey Kara, this is John West Coast Connects. I redid the video for you. Sorry I put in the wrong information in terms of where your service area is. So I'm focusing primarily on Fort Worth and Keller in this video to kind of show you where you're at in comparison in terms of ranking for those areas. So with that, let me get started. You do have a lot of good things here. You have your click to call in a couple of different places. You have your virtual chat, which is helpful on conversions. The only other thing I would recommend um, is maybe a form submit right here toward the top. That way people can send you an email basically. So you have a bunch of variety of ways in which to reach out to people or to get for people to reach out to you. But other than that, the site's really clean. You have a lot of good things. You have your reviews that populate in here. You have your form submit at the bottom. The only reason I say put it toward the top is because what you'll find is that most people don't go below this area. They see that, oh, it's a roofing company. It does what I need. Uh, that's that. I look at the services. They do what I need. They're in the area that I want. I'm gonna reach out to them. So having that up at the top really just helps in getting traffic to you quicker. So, you know, but you are doing a lot of good things here, and your site is really clean. The one thing I did notice when I went through, and this would be my first tip, is to add content to your site. And content is anything that you can highlight, whether that be pictures, text, and really there's a couple reasons why you want a lot of content. The first is so that you can be found for keywords. And looking at what you're ranking for, North Texas Roofing, North Texas Roofing Contractor, and NTX Roofing Solutions, right? Um, and North Texas Roofing, there you are getting a little bit of volume there. You're getting about 5 clicks a month, so you're doing okay there. But what you would want to rank for is buyer intent keywords. So those keywords that people type in when they're looking for something in particular that they're going to buy. So like roofing companies Fort Worth is a great one. I did find almost 6,000 searches for roofing companies within Fort Worth, Texas. Another 1.5 for like DFW, right? Leaving out Dallas, just looking at DFW because some people kind of obviously like merge the two cities. And then Keller, not a ton of volume here, but it is probably a little bit easier to rank in that area than it would be for Fort Worth or DFW. But there's not a ton of volume here. So, say I wanted to rank for this roofing company's Fort Worth keyword, right? I would have that as a heading. I would have that within my text. I might even save an image as that keyword. So let's take this image, for instance. Instead of this being saved as whatever it's saved as, that big old long number, it would be saved as roofing companies Fort Worth or, Keller Roofing Company or whatever it may be. So having those keywords within your content, specifically in headings, because those are very important, within your content, and those photos really go a long way in ranking and allowing you to rank faster and more efficiently. So, having those buyer intent keywords, having that content really would be my first tip. And then when you look at the more content you have, the more keywords you could be found for, and it is a ranking factor. One of the things that Google likes to see is that you have a lot of content because they figure that if you have a lot of content, you're more an expert in your field. So definitely would have that as my first tip. My second tip would just be to continue to build and grow this Google business profile. So looking at, again, when I rank or when I put in roofing companies Fort Worth, Lawnsmith, Veritas, and Compass are the one companies that show up. And typically they pull up to 40% of the traffic. So if you look at this particular keyword, 350 searches a month, you're looking at what would that be? 40 times 3, 120 plus 140 searches a month going directly to these top three. And how you build that up is really, quite a bit of ways, but The first is reviews. You want to continue to get more reviews. 36 is a good amount, but if you look at your competition, I mean, they have 360, they have 279, they have 81. So you kind of want to compete with them. And how there are a few ways in which you can do that. The first way that we found is pretty effective is by uh, CRM emailing companies at the end of a job and asking for reviews. You can purchase reviews. We don't necessarily recommend that, but that's a good way to add reviews, and we do offer that service as well. But one of the greatest ways we found is you get a QR code, you link it to your review form, you print those off, you laminated them, you give them to your installers, and at the end of a job, they can give it to the property owner, and they can either, they could give you a review there in a matter of seconds. So if you can get a couple a week, you're looking at 100 a year. So and then pretty much you want this information consistent through the web because Google will ding you and doesn't like it when people search on different platforms and get different information. They want to see that somebody searching on your website or Yelp page or here get accurate information. So, if you have that you're open 24 hours here and then on your website, maybe, it says something different and it doesn't, which is great. You really want consistency there. Um, then that'll ding you. And then lastly, you want to make sure that you save photos as specific keywords in geotag. So again, if I'm wanting to rank for roofing companies Fort Worth, I might save an image as that, and then I would maybe hit up this location right here, and Google will feel that you did a service or a roof at that location. And then last but not least, you need to really build up the strength of your site. So this is almost what a relatively new site looks like. And how you build this up and strengthen is by adding referring domains that send links back to your site. And all referring domains are is just links that send or just websites that send you links. And of those 8, 3 are do follow links, 3 are sending you power, which is why it's relatively low. And just to show you your competition, this is Lawn Smith. They're huge in Fort Worth and Dallas. Obviously, it would take a while to get to this point, but just to show you kind of who you're competing against, they have 206 referring domains and 348 or 348 referring domains, 206 do follow links. And as you can see, they're in the 40s and the 20s, pretty strong. But you see here, they're getting 2,600 clicks a month versus your 5. So, that's kind of what you want to get to. It takes a little bit of time, it takes a little bit of energy, effort, and consistency. But when you get to that point, your website is working overtime and working for you while you sleep. So I hope this has been helpful and informative. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions, comments, concerns. We would love to get your feedback on the video. But with that, have a great day and God bless.